And we are live. Welcome. I am Rebbetzin Bat-Chen Grossman, a marriage coach and the founder of ConnectedForReal.com. And this is Svietka. She's going to introduce herself. Today, our topic is about renovating, decorating, and all of that fun stuff. When you're doing that in your house, how does it affect your marriage? And what can we do about it? How do we prepare? How do we think about it? How do we change our mindset a little bit so that things go smoothly and we don't have to get into those conflicts and, big issues? Woo, I'm getting things. Yes, Svetka, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. First of all, Bat-Chen, since I can't see the people, and it's such a weird situation here, because on one hand, I feel like I am talking to you and we're going to have a good time. But on the other hand, there are people actually watching us, probably, hopefully.
Yes.
And so just like tell me, do we have like already one person? Do we have like three people or 103 people?
Well, how about this? You guys comment below and tell us that you're here and that you're excited. And if you have any questions, you can throw them in there. But really just tell us that you're here. We have a couple of people. It says on the top that we have people, but it doesn't tell me who they are. So I can't really know unless you comment. And there's Nicole, my number one fan. I love her.
You got to have your number one fan, the first one there.
I know. I'm telling you, it's either my mother or Nicole. They're like up there, It's
Listen,
amazing. It's
you
amazing.
gotta have groupies. Otherwise, we'll wither and die. You gotta have your groupies. You gotta have your posse.
Oh, I love them. And yeah, people are coming in. They're telling us hi. Zahava is here, Zahava Shapiro. So thank you. We're really excited that you're here. And as you guys come in, make sure to tell us that you're here in the comments below so that we can, feel like we're talking to people. Svetka, tell us what you do and who you help and why people should know you. I was going to say why you're so awesome, but you told me not to say that. So why people should know you. I will tell you why she's so awesome in just a minute.
Oh my God, I need to crawl under something and hide,
Don't worry. You know what? Well, we won't tell you why she's so awesome. At the end of this conversation, you will figure it out yourself. So yes, my mother is here. Yes, my mother. And Yehudis, yes, and Yehudis is here too. So this is awesome. Natalie Zachs says, Natalie, hi all, Svetka is so awesome. Yes, she is. And my mother's in New York. She just wants you guys to know she's still there. Okay, good. So Svetka, what do you do? Who do you help?
What do I do? My idea, my job description is an interior designer. But now in Hebrew, and we're trying to figure out how to call it in English, and anybody who has ideas is welcome to say that. It's also because of so many projects that I've done that are complicated and that have to do with actually breaking down the walls and redoing houses and adding stuff and adding floors. So it's called melava bniya. Melava is like when you are accompanying the whole process from A to Z. So we were trying to figure out how to call it in English. I don't think we came up with anything smart or funny, because I'm all about funny. I like funny names. I like funny. I like funny design. I like, for instance, when you walk into like a small bathroom, I love for people to start laughing, because I think a small bathroom is the place, a small bathroom, like what in the States they call powder room, or like a guest bathroom. The reaction should be you start laughing. It needs to be outrageous. It needs to be fun. It needs to be happy. It needs to be a place that's talked about. And to me, this is what I call like fun, funky, funny design. So by idea, I'm an interior designer, but I like to say that I am all about affordable luxury and practical coziness. Now, the word cozy is another word. You can't translate it into Hebrew. Like, what's up with that? Like, I was going to write to the Academy of Language and say, there's an awesome word in English called cozy. Please make one up in Hebrew, because I'm all about it. Cozy, something and all the other translations that have to do with like huggy, kissy, warm, homey. No, cozy. So I'm all about affordable luxury, and definitely practical coziness, because you can't, for normal average people, not for oligarchs and millionaires and people with enormous amount of money. For them, they don't need it. I am not their designer, because they don't need practical, and they definitely don't need affordable. But the normal human beings walking on this earth, we want our spaces to feel luxurious. We do want to feel a little bit of this little extra, that's like, that's just like, it's, the touchy-feely feeling of the touchy feeling, but we just don't want to pay for it. Right. So that is why it needs to be luxuriously affordable. And I think everybody, even the super rich and the super broke and everybody in between, everybody wants coziness. We want coziness in our lives. We want coziness in our relationships. We want coziness in our surroundings. We want to feel cozy in this world. When we have a place that makes us feel cozy in this world, our friends give us that feeling. No, it's not Beiti. No, Beiti is homey. No, it's not Beiti. It's cozy, right. It's not Beiti.
I know it, but I had to tell you.
Nope. It needs to be like a juicy kind of word. Cozy is a juicy word. So I think coziness is something that men and women, we crave it, because I think it's the feeling we get from when we really feel at home. We grow up with it.
I'll tell you what, I think it's also the opposite of sterile. When you go into a hospital or you go into a doctor's office and you go into something that feels the exact opposite, then you feel that. And so you automatically want to make sure that your space isn't sterile. Even if you're minimalist, you should still have cozy.
Yes,
because that's two different things.
Not empty.
Of
minimalism,
course.
The true minimalism, it's very, it's a quite difficult, true minimalism. It's a difficult style to achieve. It's usually not a cheap style, because it's all about very specifically picked items, very well-made items that are going to last you probably forever and thereafter. And each item that you pick for minimalist style, he is the star. So it's minimalism can definitely be cozy. I don't particularly care for that style. I design in that style, and I've done more than one project in minimalist style, and it can be cozy. But to me, it's because I like stuff. I like Pitch of Kiss. I like flea markets. I like hunting for a broken chair that I see, on somewhere on the side of it. I'm like, oh my God, the things I can do with that chair, So minimalist is not my style, but it can definitely be cozy as well.
Okay. Absolutely. Now we have another couple of options. There's Otef, which is not cozy, but is a good, getting close. Milatef.
Otef is like, Milatef is strokey and like, yes.
I don't think we have a word for Milatef in English. Anyway, let's get into marriage, because I really want to know what you think the biggest issues are that come up when you work with couples.
Okay, so first of all, I feel, because I don't know who the people are, I feel I need a disclaimer, first of all, okay? I need a disclaimer because I will make some statements, actually my opinions, that are based on years of experience in doing more than 60 projects. But everything that I will be saying, it will be gentrified, which means based on gender. It will be very general statements. They're general. Basically, I will be saying things like men are and women are. Like the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I guarantee you the guy would be probably right now burned at the stake for that book. Like, man, well, you can't say all men and all women. No. So So to me, that book is like a Bible. So, because when it comes to design, we really are men are from Mars, totally, like probably even another galactica, not even from Mars. Okay, they're like not in our sphere of action. So I needed a disclaimer, because if in your marriage, it's like if you guys are building and everything is hunky dory and you're totally on the same page, it's like more power to you. I'm very happy. But the things I'm going to be talking about is what happens in most of the families and with most couples. So before we start anything, I think it's important that we have to discuss, why do we even start the whole process of reno? Like, who needs it? Who wants it? Why are we bothering? Like, where does it start? Where is it born? And who starts it usually? Okay. Now, I was actually going to ask the people that are like joining us to take a piece of paper to write, if they're planning a reno or whatever, whose idea was it? Be honest with yourselves. Whose idea was it? And why? Why did the person have an idea to start a reno? Let's talk more about the renovation and not building the house, because I think it's more complicated when you're doing the reno than building the house. And usually the budgets are very different. So the reasons when it comes to men and women, why we start a reno, are very, very different. Okay. Usually, women want to start a renovation for at least 5, 6, 11, 111 different reasons. Okay. The first reason is she's feeling that she needs an update, that this is already old, that she's annoyed by the color on the walls. There's a crack, annoyed by the floor. She's annoyed, it's too old, we haven't done anything with the house. I need new energy, I need I need an update, okay? I need something prettier in my eyes. The other reason a woman might want to do a reno is that she feels that it's too hard to upkeep. The ceiling is leaking, and then after they fixed it, there's still a spot, and it hasn't been painted, and then the handle is broken, and then the sink is not as convenient, and then she constantly have to sweep the floor because when they were doing the house, they chose this color floor, and then now it's slippery, and now you can see every crumb and whatever. So the house is not acting. It's not flowing, and it's not being to her as helpful as it needs to be. That's a second reason. Right. The third reason for a woman to want to start a reno is because there are objective changes that happen in the family. One of the kids went away, the other in the army, the third one is married. Now people are working from home, you need an office. So there are there's a fluidity of the family. She's having more, his parents or her parents are more often coming over, they're staying overnight, she needs a guest room. So it's objective fluidity of the family. Another reason that she might want to do changes to the house is energetically. She feels stuck in the marriage, in the friendships, in the kid, whatever. And we get restless, and we just feel like if I'll do something to the house, I'll move the wall or I'll paint a corridor, doesn't matter what, the energy will move, and I just need to change something. Okay. So usually these are the reasons. Now, if I will summarize all of these reasons for the woman, it's an actual need. Now, when she says that to the husband, he compartmentalizes in his brain and he says, some of them are needs and some of them are wants. She wants, well, let her continue wanting, but she does need, okay, so we'll discuss about what the guys are thinking. Now, men, there are 3 reasons, I think, if I wrote to myself, the 3 or 4 reasons that men will initiate any kind of renovation is, first of all, is how can I get away from the kids? That's I need my man cave, I need an office, I need something. They're all over me, they're in my head. I come from work, I have no place to hide. I need a place to hide. It's time I have a place to hide. Now, it doesn't matter whether the family is religious or not religious. So the non-religious guys, they might need an office or a place where they can watch football, in the man cave. And the religious guys need a place where they have a chevruta and that he can study in peace and whatever. It really doesn't matter. So the reason for the guys to initiate, and he will come to you and say, honey, I think it's time we redo something in the house, is usually it's because he needs, to get away from the kids. The other reason for him to initiate, I'm talking about initiating, not going with you, I'm talking about initiating any kind of build, is because as it is right now, he's exerting too much effort into helping you run it. Because what does it mean? It means, oh, honey, can you bring it down? Can you put it up? Can you move it? Can you fix it? Can you hang it? Oh, honey, the plata needs to go up. The mecham needs to come down. So like we're constantly asking him because the house is not working very well for us. So he is thinking we need to do something because this is ridiculous, and it's a big thought for him. How basically the renovation will save me the amount of effort I have to be putting in, okay? And the third reason he will initiate anything with the house might be, and it happened to me only 3 times out of 60 projects, but when the guy actually becomes aware, and he's also very surprised by it, because he never thought about himself that way, but when he becomes aware that he's apprehensive about inviting his boss over or his teammates or his workmates because he's not really proud of his house, because it doesn't exude the feeling that he wants them to have. And then all of a sudden he'll come and he'll say, honey, listen, I was thinking of having guys over, and I was going to have my boss over for dinner or something. Do you think maybe we should paint? It's been 14 Pesachs since we painted, maybe we should paint. So that's the reasons usually that the guys will initiate.
We have a comment. Somebody said her husband initiated because he wanted a shower instead of a bath. Would you say that's one of the things?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What is that down on? Under?
It means that he is sick of climbing in and climbing out because the bath is not convenient to stand in and he feels squished. Also, usually when you have a bath, you have a shower curtain that's constantly sticking to his body. And then he needs to constantly unglue it while he's washing his hair. He's annoyed. Now, whoever asked you that, ask if that was the reason. He's annoyed. He wants more space. He wants to feel comfortable. He wants to walk in, even if it's a shower curtain, but he wants to be able to walk in, have a shower without fighting with the shower curtain, without feeling squished. That's what he wants. And it's inconvenient for him.
And here you got another one. She says, or if he plans to buy more stuff and he wants more room for his stuff.
Man cave. We're back to the man cave. Exactly. Yes. Whether it's a shed, it's a garage, it's more shelving in the basement, it doesn't matter what. He needs his space where the kids are not. Now, he can ask, honey, we need to enlarge the living room because then the kids are all going to be there and I'll be there. Or he will tell you, honey, you know what, we don't need to do anything but let's build an addition so that the kids are going to be in the addition and we'll be in the living room. No matter how you look at it, that's why the guys would initiate a renovation. Otherwise, they will not. Okay? Did anybody ask a question?
Yes, she says you express it very well. The one with the shower.
The one with the shower. Okay. Well,
Thumbs up for that.
Yay! All right. So now I'm going to make a statement. Let's see how many people are going to get pissed off over it. He who initiates it is usually not the one who budgets for it. Okay. Now, let me tell you that usually, obviously, the one who initiated are the women, because all the things I mentioned before are these are the reasons, these are our needs. For men, even if they've been married 20, 30, 40, 75 years, the whole thing with feelings that the wife is feeling is very hard for him to accept. So when you're feeling that you need to change something in the house because the energy is annoying you or because the color and the he needs to like process that information that the feeling is in the actual need. Because most of the guys, most of the dudes, they come home, they just don't want to trip over the bags that were left by the kids at the entrance. They don't want to be told, pick up your socks, honey, and put them in, he wants to feel comfortable. They usually do not see it, or they train themselves not to see it. Most of the men do not notice the things that bother us. He definitely will never come and say to you, honey, I think we need to do this main wall in a different color. I'm sort of sick of this, and pink. Maybe we should go mauve. I want to see that happen once. Once. That the guy will initiate to do something to the house because he's sick of the soft pink wall and he wants to go mauve. Okay? So now.
You crack me up. My brother agrees. We're all laughing.
Yay! Listen, it's really funny, but usually when sometimes I get clients who call me, they're men, and because somebody who recommends me, they tell them, listen, talk to Svietka, she speaks man. Okay. Anyway. In the better together. So I speak man. I understand maybe it's because I was in the army for so long, maybe because I know the difficulties that men have with the whole thing that has to do with the renovation. And when I have guys that call me up, it's usually because they know the wife is unhappy. They know that needs something to be done, and he doesn't know what he can do, like where to even start. Like, what does he need to build? What does he need to buy? What does he need to paint and break and then fix?
Happy. Can we just take a pause here and go back to what I say every single live from the beginning? Yes. All your husband wants is to make you happy.
And that is the reason, actually, out of all the reasons that I told you that the man will initiate a reno, is when he sees his wife is unhappy. And the bottom line is men want their wives happy. They're willing to exude more effort than they would be happy not to exude. They're willing to put in hundreds and thousands of dollars into stuff they really don't care about, okay? Just so that the wife will be happy. They're willing to spend time looking at ridiculous pictures of toilets just so the wife will be happy, okay? And whether or not you want it to be chrome or gold plated, because it's a little faucet that you put in your guest bathroom, he really doesn't care. But he will look at it and he will participate and he will tell you, honey, I don't care, but let's pick whatever you want. So
this is my mother. She says she loves that you're a psychologist.
Listen, to be honest, the reason I think we need to charge a whole lot more than we charge the interior designers is it's the psychology of understanding what goes on in the, between the couples, because even though the men at the end want their wives to be happy, the bottom line for the guys is always one and the same. Who can guess? Who can guess what is the bottom line for the dudes?
The price?
Exactly. How much is going to cost me to make you happy? How much? Okay, so that is the bottom line. Now, if we talk about he who initiates is usually not the one who budgets for it, usually because the one who initiates is the woman, because we have more needs, and because we are the queens of our abode, and because houses are a lot more important to us than just a place to eat, drink, and sleep. Therefore, we do not budget for it. Even if we do the money in our families and we're the one who run the budgets, we are not going to initiate it while thinking of the budget. First, we'll initiate the reno, and then we'll talk about the budget, because it has never happened, from what I know in life, that a man would come to his wife and says, honey, I really think we need to change the windows in the house because they're a little drafty. They're not very practical, but we don't have the money for it. But we really should do it. We have the need, but we don't have the money. It will not happen. Because if that will happen, what will usually the wife say?
Oh, good idea. Let's do it.
Exactly. And then she's going to say, but what do you mean we don't have the money? How much is it going to cost? Do you imagine a man telling her, well, I don't know. I have no idea. No, he will tell you, I checked. I called all the providers. I checked how much it's going to cost. We don't have the money. Okay. That's why it will never happen. The men will first find out the price. They will find out the timeline. They will find out the budget. And only then they will initiate the whole build. Now, initiating the build basically means is when the problems start, and very often they do start, is we always revert to who was it that started this? Okay. And then there starts the finger pointing. You wanted it. No, it was you who wanted it. Okay. So from the very beginning, it's very important that he who initiates knows what, not reactions exactly, I would say, but what attitude toward the renovation the partner will have, and what are his, not red lines, I would say, but what are the limits? Now, we called our talk today, Rejoice When He Doesn't Care, okay? Now, what do I mean by that is do not press, and now I'm mostly talking to the women, but if there are guys, if we have guys in the audience with us, I think they will really agree with me on that. They will love me for this. Basically, I'm telling all the women in any project, don't force your guy to care about stuff that he doesn't care. Now, because we somehow, women, equate of him when he says, listen, honey, I don't care. We equate that he doesn't care. No, he does not care. He just doesn't care. It's a different non-caring. He doesn't care what color, just like he doesn't care if you have the same color shoes to the proper dress that fits, that fits into your, with your earrings. He doesn't care. You look put together. You look wonderful. It didn't cost $1 million. It's all good. The same thing if you want this wall to be this color or that color, he doesn't want it too feminine, that he feels like he's walking in a little field of flowers. Otherwise, most of the things, men do not care. Now, why do I say rejoice in it? Because it gives you the freedom to let him take care of the stuff during the renovation that are important to him. Usually the things that are important to the men care about, if I would say, 4 things, okay? The bottom line for him always is, how much is it going to cost? Are we going to stick to the budget? Can we afford it? How many things can we not afford it? Do I need to find the money? It's everything that has to do with the budgeting. That's number 1 thing that men care about when we're talking about renovation. Number 2 is, how much more effort am I going to have to exude while reno? Do I have to take time off? Do I have to go with her shopping? Do I have to look at the pictures? Do I have to send emails? Do I have to find out the price? How much?
Do I have to have a broken wall that's open to, to the cold, to the heat? This is like a big thing. They don't care.
He only will cares because you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be nagging him and you're going to be pissed off, and that's why he cares. Otherwise, so we have a little open wall for a week. Oh my God. Yeah, it's uncomfortable because the wife now needs more help from me to close it off so it's not cold, so the kids are dry. Otherwise, no. Okay. He can live in a tent. He doesn't care. Okay? He doesn't. Usually he doesn't. All right? So,
don't forget, not all men. We said this in the beginning.
Not all men. Oh my God, women. My Bible, men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. I should have had it here. I should go into my office and get it. In the back of my office and get it. Yes, not all men. Listen, let me again stipulate this. There are men who love going shopping. There are men who love picking stuff and pay more attention to little details than women. Yes, there are. I had wonderful clients. We're just working like on they're my return clients. We're working right now on something else. But when we started in the beginning, my client told me, she's like, listen, I don't want to go shopping. I don't care. You guys, you go with him. He understands it. He likes it. He enjoys it. We went shopping. Oh my God, we had a gorgeous day. We took pictures. We sent it to her. We told her to pick. Basically, we did with her what I usually do with the guys. Right. Yes, there are exceptions, but on the majority, if I take 10 families, it usually will be one guy will say, no, please, I want to see the mauve wall before we decide to paint it, because I know the difference between the mauve and the soft pink and the antique pink and the rose pink. So show me those 5 pinks, because I know the difference and I want to pick it. If you can give me one family out of 20, good, but it usually doesn't happen. Right. So that's the second thing that men care about. And the third one is, are we going to be fighting during the reno? That's what guys care about, because they want you to be happy. They don't want fights. Therefore, that's why a lot of men really are apprehensive before renovations, because they know you will ask him to care about stuff he doesn't care. You will care about things that he just doesn't understand. And you will demand his participation in your caring about things he doesn't understand. So he already in his mind knows all the fighting that's going to be happening and the amount of effort he will have to exude not to fight with you and to go along. So the women, we care a lot more about a lot more stuff. Like we care about basically everything. And we do. And we don't know how to let go. We don't know when to drop it. We don't know how to let it go. Even women who are not control freaks become control freaks during the reno. They want to be on everything and every little decision. So when we tell the guys, listen, I want your input, it's usually for 2 reasons. One is we think if we don't ask his opinion, he's going to feel left out and that we don't care about his opinion, which he doesn't. That's one reason. And the other reason is that when we're being indecisive, when we can't make a decision, whether it needs to be mauve or soft pink. Okay.
Oh, you hit it on the spot, because a lot of times what we do, and ladies, listen up, because this is universal to everything. We will look for external answers when we can't find our own answers. And then we'll blame them and use them as an excuse because we couldn't get in touch with ourselves and we couldn't take the time to just pause and get reconnected. That is huge.
Bam, you got it. Bam, you got it. And this is when we have totally different expectations of the level of participation from our partner and what they are capable of. And it goes both ways. It doesn't matter. It goes for the guys, it goes for the girls. Because if a man is totally on top of stuff and it's very important for him, and what's driving him crazy is that when he comes home or he steps out of his home office, and there's balagan everywhere. There is a mess, and and the kids' shoes are all over the place, and and there are 7 school bags at the entrance to the house, and that's not including the 2 that are on the way home, and they haven't gotten home yet. And when there is just a mess, and he's the one who is the the tidy one. He's the one that's organized in the house, but he knows you're not capable. You have 7 kids who came home and 2 on the way. There's just only so much you can do. And he's not really willing to help either because he's annoyed at the mess, but there's only so much that he's willing to put aside. So what he basically does is that he stifles the annoyance and he'll step over the bags and then he will complain. He's like, oh my God, why can't they put the bags on the side? And then they will come to we need an actual normal entryway. And we need Svietka to create like storage so the bags are not going to be thrown as you walk into the house. So when you have expectations that you discuss before starting the reno, and when you understand what are the limits of participation of your partner, then you already on the way to a very healthy, very healthy, I would say, not, it's not even an arena. You're on the journey. Exactly. It's going to be much easier to make the choices that you need to make. It's going to be much easier to budget. It's going to be much easier to communicate with each other when you know what to expect. Like when you know not only what to expect, when you know what to involve your partner in and where not to, like, well, not to bother. Okay. Or the involvement will be only on the level of, well, let me tell you. Okay. I'm just like informing you, which for men is very difficult because the minute you inform him, he usually thinks, I need to participate. I need to give my opinion. I need to solve the problem. I need to fix it. I need to find the solution, whatever. And you just go, no, honey, I'm just telling you, I'm really confused between the mauve and the pink, and to train him, like in everything else, to just sit there and listen to your confusion.
Just smile and nod,
Smile and nod. Exactly. Smile and nod.
But this is why you have Svietka. That's the whole point of hiring someone, is so that you will have somebody to talk to that isn't your husband. Could you imagine if you were the only one doing this, so you'd be alone in this, so then you would need his support to, like, what do you think? Should I go with this or should I go with that? But the whole point of hiring you or any other interior designer or, whatever designer is so that you have an expert that's going to say, listen, this is a better color. It's going to be warmer in your home. It's going to be cozier, blah, blah, blah. Done. Let me help you make this decision. Because sometimes there are expert decisions, like, as a designer, like, I used to be a designer for 15 years. There were things that definitely were just like, yeah, make a decision. It really doesn't matter which one you choose. But there are choices that I can explain. I could say, listen, this is centered. It will give you a certain feeling when you see it, blah, blah, blah. It will, it feels a certain way. This other thing gives a different feeling. And I think for your client or for your life or for your whatever needs, this is the right choice. Now, you still get to make the decision, but I'm able to articulate better because this is my my profession or my expertise. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why you would get an expert.
The other very important reason to get an expert is the designer. He is the bridge between both of you. Because first of all, to me, an interior designer is the most important person in the whole building process. More important than the kablan for sure, because the kablan does what the designer says. More important than the architect for sure, because the architect does the job, whatever, and then I do the adjustments according it. And more important than anybody overlooking, like the mifakech bniya, the guy who checks, the whatever that might be wrong. What do you call that? The guy who does the checking. What do you call it in English?
An engineer, like the building.
Not an engineer. No. Not an engineer, not a constructor.
No, inspector, like the guy who oversees it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Because they only come like once in a while, to oversee it. The designer, a good designer's job is to bridge the differences between the husband and wife, first of all, because you might want different things. You might have different tastes. You might see needs very differently. And actually, a designer is more important on the job for the husband than for the wife. The reason for it being, it's all a matter of trust. If the husband trusts that the designer has their best interest at heart, and not my own. It's not my own vision that I want to create right now. Your house is not my ego. I don't need your house to fulfill my vision. I do have a vision for your house, but my first job is to keep my budget.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm saying your vision is because you're an expert and you're so good at what you do. Your vision is what they want. It's just you're able to envision it. It's not what I want for you. It's what I know that you are communicating. Like you tell me what you need, I'm going to mirror it back to you with a vision.
But I'm going to mirror it back to you with a vision to keep you on budget.
Right.
And this is where usually the husbands are apprehensive about designers, because they go, well, she's going to make up all these things, and then let's have gold leaf on the ceiling and, and stuff like that. And I keep telling them from the beginning, designer is the only person who is in your corner. The only person has absolutely no personal interest, well, shouldn't have a personal interest in doing your house. My only interest and my only worry is the client's budget. And how can I make all of their dreams come true without going over budget, and how to keep them, in line. And I think this is where the designer is more important to actually for the husband, because if I say something that something needs to be done, the husband, first thing he asks is how much is going to cost me. Okay. Right. And I'm telling him, listen, no, this solution is, first of all, we're keeping on the budget. But if I tell him, listen, this is solution, you need it. Yes, it will cost more, but, and then I can explain logically why this needs to be done. When the woman will say, listen, because I want it, because this is what I want, because it's pretty. With guys, it doesn't cut it because it's pretty. Honey, another $2,000 just because it's pretty. Nope. But if I tell them, listen, because it's more practical, because it's, not just because it's going to complete the vision, but because there is a logical explanation why it needs to be done. Right. That's why I think people really should never, ever, ever do anything that has to do with the reno or building the house without the full team. Without the full team, to me, you have to have an interior designer, not just to make it pretty,
right?
But keep you on budget.
I know that when we were renovating, and this was a long time ago, maybe 8 years ago or something, there were things that the Kabbalah did not think of, like where the lighting should be and where your electricity should be and where, the light.
His job.
The light was the opposite. He couldn't care less that when you go down, it turns on, and when you go up, like it was completely backwards. But to him, that was fine, and he wanted to put the sink all the way to the edge because who needs it to be centered? Like there were things that were really funny about dealing just without any, expert in the way. Thank God we had really amazing people working with us. So that was really helpful, but it's something that you really have to take into consideration.
Listen, it's not his job to plan it out for you. His job is to execute to the best of his ability.
Yeah.
It's not his job to think if you want this light to be connecting, the living room and the dining room together, this is why we're placing it, or it's it's just to have it over the dining room table. It's everybody needs to know where their jobs is, what their jobs are, and it's not a Kabbalah's job. Do we have any questions? Does anybody want to ask me something? When do the problems arise, for instance?
Yes, let's hear you guys. Put them in the chat. What do you think? When do things what?
Are there any people that are building right now and they're having some problems communicating?
So we had Yehuda saying that she's trying to do a renovation as we speak. Unfortunately, she is in the United States. And I was going to ask you, do you do like Zoom consultations where people can show you the space and you can give them advice and send them really inspirations?
I'm going to out probably one of my clients right now. Is there if there is a Sabina listening up, yeah, I have she's in the States, she's in Malibu, and we're doing her house. We're not doing the reno. We're finished with the reno, but we're doing the house ready for sale. So we're going shopping, we're buying stuff, we're moving stuff, we're like for hours because it's perfect timing. Because of the time difference, yeah, it's great because it's evening for me. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning for me. It's nice, like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We go shopping, we buy stuff, we play stuff. Yeah, I do long distance. I did a place in France. We did a full renovation in France. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so when do the problems start? Let's hear, because I have so much to say. Now we rent an apartment. We are decluttering now. I would love to hear what you have to say about decluttering.
Decluttering is God. Like, seriously, decluttering is the thing to do. Decluttering is, and if you have a problem decluttering because you just like stuff, there is an awesome show on YouTube, on Netflix, whatever. I think it's called like The Hoarders of England, and then there are hoarders. And watch that show like once or twice. You will be running to every room and like grabbing stuff and going like this into the garbage bags. After watching that show, nothing motivates you more than that show. It's an amazing show. Decluttering is the most important thing to do if you want to change the energy of the house, if you want to change, if you want to shake things up in your relationship, if you definitely want to do a renovation. It's the first.
Money,
if you what?
if you want to make more money,
if you want to make more money, if you everything decluttering, yes, because when you have clutter, and usually it's funny, but it's more actually about women than men. You know, like, and I can prove it to you. The majority of women cannot go on vacation and leave any kind of dishes, even if she goes away for Shabbos, okay? And leave any kind of dishes in the sink. Why? Because while you are on vacation on Shabbos or whatever, even if it's like for one night, the thought of having a messy kitchen, it will pass sometime. It will be less than a second and you will get annoyed. We can be in the middle of a job, we can be in the middle of a presentation as CEOs of major companies, and then all of a sudden the thought that actually our shoe aisle in our walk-in closet is like all like this, or our closet is all messed up and not organized, it will pass. Like, we don't know where it comes from. We will remember it. Our day will be ruined, even for that second. So when you declutter or when you organize the spaces, not clean them, because clutter and cleanliness are not the same thing.
right?
You can have dusty shelves, but as long as the stuff on the shelves is organized, it's a different feeling.
It totally is. Even in your drawers, by the way. So I was one of our, if you guys want to go back on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook group, I had Rebecca Saltzman, who is the queen of decluttering. She has a program called Conquer Your Clutter. And now before Pesach, she's doing a whole Pesach thing, which is really cool. Like how to prepare for Pesach and how to declutter and how to get ready. Like, she is so organized. It's crazy. She came on and we spoke about this. But anyway, I did her program and I decluttered my clothes. I gave away 7 humongous garbage bags of clothes. And that was after my daughter went through all the stuff and took, and that was after my mother and my grandmother, like everybody took stuff, and I still had 7 bags. And I did not believe that about myself because I really didn't have that much clothes. But it opened up my life to so much abundance in so many areas of my life, because it really weighs you down and you don't even know it. You don't know it. And by the way, now I have to do it again. And it just, like it's been, I think, a year since I did it, or maybe over a year, but it feels like I want to do it again because it really freshened up my life. It really does.
I do decluttering for clients. I also have a system of decluttering because I think a lot of people, the reason they don't declutter is they feel overwhelmed. I mean, the woman thinks like, oh, I need to do this room and this room and this room, and oh my God, and the desk and the closets and the kids' clothes and the winter. And then you get overwhelmed and you go, never mind. No, let's wait for Pesach.
It's not only overwhelmed, it's the perfectionism. Like, if I start, I want to make it perfect. And so I might as well not start because I know it's not going to be perfect. That's something that, oh my gosh, that is my number one issue. I cannot start doing the books if I know I'm not going to be able to finish?
Perfectionism is from the devil.
I
It's a
know.
disease. It needs to be beaten out of people.
I
Perfectionism is the devil.
oh, finally.
It is the most terrible excuse for procrastination, for not doing anything in life, for not taking chances, for not renewing yourself, for not progressing, from being for being stagnant. If you want to live your life as a stagnant frog that's like in the same pond with a stinky water, then be a perfectionist.
Yes.
Yes.
I love how Gina DeVee says, "Little Miss Perfect has to die in order for you to become queen." That was like the best line. Um, and it really is so true. Okay, we have a really good question here. Zahava is asking, her problem is that she likes too many colors and she has a hard time finalizing the decision of which color scheme to go with and if to paint the ceiling a bold color or not. She loves it all. She can't decide.
Okay, so let me talk to you about colors and mixing them and matching them. And I gave it was funny. I gave a lecture to like 60 gananot, to 60 kindergarten teachers. They had like an evening of that was organized by them, and so I was invited to talk to them. And so I didn't do a disclaimer, and I came out saying, listen, there is no such thing as wrong color mixture. Ooh! People stopped breathing. Like seriously, like there was like a like that reaction. And everybody started arguing with me. No, what are you talking about? Of course, this color doesn't go with this color. I'm like, listen, let me say that again. There is no such thing as wrong mixing of colors. Why? Because color mixing is absolutely, totally personal choice. Just like when something is too salty or too sweet or too bitter, whether you like wasabi on your sushi or you don't like wasabi on your sushi. Okay? Now, taste for colors has to do with not only your personality, it has to do with what you're going through in life. And it has to do with emotions, the emotions that the color raises in us, how we react to things that are happening around us. It's all about perception. It's really on hormonal level, okay, the study of color. Right. So if she likes all the colors, good. Mix them and match them the way they make you happy. You can't make a mistake. It's your house. If you like, I always like to give this example. I personally do not like blue and brown. Now, does that mean not turquoise, blue color and brown colors, two colors that I do not like together. They do not make me happy. When I look at them, I go like, wait, what's going on there? No, just something's wrong. Now, and I had clients, many clients, who wanted blue and brown. They wanted brown cabinets and blue tiles on the wall. It's absolutely fine if this is what makes you happy. And when I say makes you happy, I always tell the clients, like, when we look at something, if you go, like when you get giddy on the inside from looking at something, that means it makes you happy. So my job as a designer to tell you, listen, so you know what? Let's go maybe a little deeper brown and maybe a little lighter blue, because the light is playing a certain way, because the lighting that you have on top is going to look different with this tile. And then, you know what? Let's get a blue vase and then let's get brown handles. It doesn't matter what it is. So if all the colors make her happy, go wild. And about the ceiling, oh my God, I think it's a shanda to leave a ceiling white. Nobody have white ceilings. Nobody.
I agree.
Ceilings.
I agree.
Yes, painted, hunter green, deep, that you feel like you're in a forest. And when you have like a small bathroom painted black with a little white polka dots and pink walls,
I know someone who has that.
Yes,
people. Your bathroom once.
My bathroom is my guest bathroom and my kids' bathroom. It's actually black French design wallpaper, pink on top of it with white polka dots, and the ceiling is black with white polka dots. Insane bathroom, which is less than like a meter, like a square meter. It only has a toilet in it. That's it. It's
You know
tiny.
what?
It's awesome.
It's so important to get in touch with what you like and what you want. And I think that's one of the things that is almost like the prerequisite of starting any project is really getting in touch with what you like. Get in touch with, and you were just saying that like giddy feeling. I just opened up a brand new box of Majhul dates that are gigantic, like huge dates that
Did you
are.
get Danielle's date? Danielle's?
I have no idea. I bought this new box and it was huge and it was yummy inside. They were melting in my mouth. And I was telling my husband how this makes me so happy. And he's like looking at me like I am crazy. But who cares? It really filled me up. It made me a different person. And that's one of the things that I teach is make sure that you know what fills you up. If you know that buying frozen fruits and making yourself a smoothie is going to make your day, go buy fruits. Like really, it's more important for you to make sure that you're happy. Why? We spoke about this before. Svietka said, and I repeated, your husband wants to make you happy. So if you get in touch with what makes you happy and then give him credit for you being happy, your life will be complete.
Yes. Giving him credit means he is enabling you and he is going with your flow because he wants you to be happy. Because he really doesn't care about the color on the walls, and he doesn't care about the ceramic tiles, and he doesn't care if you want to put the ceramic tiles vertically or horizontally or crisscross. He doesn't. He really doesn't.
Okay, now let's talk about let's talk about those who do care. So for example, I'll give you a great example. My husband is the one who cleans the bathrooms. He is such a good husband. I love him. I'm very, very happy to announce that, I am truly happy as a marriage coach. This is like a big thing, right? People want to know if I am actually happy when I'm giving people advice. So I'm very grateful. I'm very happy that he does this job and he does a lot of other jobs too. He's amazing. And we were talking about, what do you think about, I'm like all excited about this live and we're talking over supper. And I said, what would you say, if they don't care? He's like, well, sometimes there are some technical things that we do care about. For example, Yes, he doesn't like the hanging toilets. He feels like they keep telling you, oh, it's easier to clean. He says they're so annoying. I probably spent 1,000 shekels trying to just fix those things. Every couple of years, there's this little plastic rubber thing that gets air in between. Yes, he knows. I don't know. We have 2 toilets and they each have the same problem.
They weren't sold badly.
Well, whatever it is, there's this little piece that you have to replace every couple of years and it starts a whole leak and it's really annoying. And he's like, it really was not worth it. I'd rather have the normal toilets, the old-fashioned ones that make me happy. And I was thinking, you know what? You're the one who cleans them. So if I do any type of reno, I would just let you pick the toilets. Like I really wouldn't care.
Exactly. So you see, you just gave a perfect solution. First of all, you totally said the same thing as I did. He doesn't care what the color of the toilet is. He doesn't care on what tile the toilet is hanging, and he doesn't care what color the toilet itself is. He cares about the practicality. He cares about the upkeep. He cares about exerting the effort that it takes him to run or help you run the household. That's what he cares about. So that's one thing. Yeah. The second thing, the best thing that you just said was exactly what I've been saying all along. When you don't care about something and the other person does, it doesn't matter if it's a wife or the husband, let it go. You don't care about the toilet. You don't clean it. It looks fine to you, whether it's an old looking toilet or it's a new. So you let it go. You're not going to stand your ground on something you don't care about.
I might care. I think that it looks nice when they're hung, but I don't really care. Like as long as they look clean and nice and they're taken care of and I don't have to do it.
Exactly. It's knowing what to expect, what are the limits, and what is the logic from your partner before you start the reno. Because if he will tell you, but listen, because I clean them and whatever, can we please not get a white toilet? I want a cream toilet because I think the dirt shows less, on the bottom of the toilet, where it's connected. Or can we get a green toilet? You're going to say, well, do I really care if it's a green toilet? You're going to say to yourself, no, well, let Svietka help me pick the tiles that go well with green toilet. And we're done.
Right.
Now, people get into the problems of renovating is when they don't pick their battles. When everything becomes important. When everything is a life or death situation. And usually it's the women.
Right.
Because usually for the guys, it's like, I don't care.
And it goes back to really not being in touch with yourself. It really does. Because if you can be in touch with what is important to you, you'll have an easier time letting go of the things that aren't. And if you're not in touch, then everything feels like important. Yes. Everything. It's more about the ego trying to say like, but this is important to me, but this is also important to me, and this is also important to me. Like, okay, chill, breathe, relax, get present.
A lot of things are not important. Yes, a lot. As a designer, as a professional, I can tell you, a lot of things in design are just not important. And sometimes I will tell the clients, and it's very seldom, like there are very few designers that actually have the same attitude as I do. But all of a sudden, like they will ask me what they should buy, and I will tell them, whatever. It's like, for instance, the bed, okay? And if they have a huge room and they want a bed that has, on the side, it's like a little wider frame, which will take up another 10 centimeters, let's say, and whatever, and they want like really bulky legs and whatever. And I'm going to tell them, you guys, design-wise, it doesn't matter. But you know what? You have a tiny room. You're going to be, moving the beds apart. We don't have the space for these 10 centimeters. Therefore, you can't get it. So it's a practical decision and has nothing to do with the design. They're just things that when you're starting to do a renovation, I think it's in life. It's not just like a renovation. Really seriously pick your battles, pick your fights, pick your wars, pick things that you really do not care about. They're not even fights. Just before you start the reno, tell yourself, you know what? I don't care about this. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. I don't care about these things. And if he doesn't care about them either, then let your designer make the decision. Or if he cares about them, more power to you, honey. Take it upon yourself. You make the decision,
And so, I want to say also pick your piece, pick the train that's going to take you to where you want. Pick the trajectory of the goals that you want, Sometimes we have this thing where we're like so stuck on, I need to be right now, that we don't see where it's taking us, but it's really taking us the wrong direction and it's not serving us in any way. Okay, Svietka, we have a big question. How can I contact Svietka?
Well, I have a phone. I have a WhatsApp. I have a Facebook. I have, what else do I have? I have an email. Definitely, we'll give you the phone number. We'll give you anything and everything. You guys can talk to me. We can continue. You can ask me questions later on our Facebook thingy on the bottom. My whole thing, like, why did we decide to talk about this is at some point, the reno becomes a burden. It becomes one prolonged fight. It stops being fun. And you forget what you just said. You forget where you're going. You're going towards something that should make you happy, makes your life easier, makes your life not being stuck on not important things. To me, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I built my kitchen. I have an extension to the kitchen. Like, I built my kitchen out because I have a mind-blowing view, like $1 million view. And I wanted the kitchen facing that view. So I built it about 11 years ago. And of course, I did all my pickings and I picked my own floor. And after a while, I realized I hate the floor, not how it looks, but I'm a slave to it because it was a light color floor. The tiles were slippery. It looked sort of like a stone, like real stone. It looks beautiful, but I constantly saw the dirt on it. I am not a slave kind of person. I am not obsessive about cleanliness. I do like an organized house. I am not obsessing. I needed to sweep it like 3 times a day so that it would look fresh and clean. I had got sick of it. I just changed my floors in the kitchen. Beautiful, gorgeous tile. Oh my God, you guys, I walk around and like, I'm giddy all day because it's been 6 months. I'm giddy all day about my floors in the kitchen because first of all, I don't have to clean them once a day. I don't have to clean them once a day. I clean them maybe. We're not going to say it, actually. But I'll keep it as a secret. How often do I clean my floors in the kitchen? But it's nice tile. I love the look. It looks like old wood that has been found, like, I don't know, in the middle of nowhere. Every tile is different color. It's not slippery. I'm not a slave. This what was important to me. Of course, the look is important, but I believe that your house needs to work for you and not you work for your house. If you're even if you're a housewife and it's like your main job is to keep the house, I don't care. Sit and watch soap operas most of the day and don't, work on your house most of the day. Just, it needs to be the other way around. The house needs to work for you and you not to be a slave to it.
Yeah.
That's like, and it needs to be fun. The house needs to be fun.
Oh, yes. Your house needs to fill you up, not suck your energy out. It is such a huge thing.
I would ask people right now who are watching us, what do they think is the most important room in the house? The most important room in the house. Let people answer you. What do they think? And then read it to me. And let's see if there's going to be one person that guesses it. The most important room.
You guys start doing it. It's our last couple of minutes. So comment below, what is the most important room in your house?
The most important, like the altar of importance.
Well, I think you said it was the bathroom. The guest.
It's not the guest bathroom.
You gave it away. Just kidding.
It's not a guest bathroom.
It's a master bathroom.
It's a master bathroom.
Oh,
exactly.
We have a thing here. A guest called the living room.
Nope. Absolutely, the least important room in your house. And the easier room.
We have another living room. We have a kitchen.
Nope.
Another one, kitchen.
Yeah, there you go. Who said toilet?
Toilet, Judith.
Judith. I think Judith is a cheater. Judith, I'll tell you why Judith is a cheater, because she heard me say it at a lecture that I gave at the retreat with Leah. Judith, admit it. Did you see it? Did you hear that? And that's where you remember it.
Cheater. She just has really good memory.
Really good memory. Judith is awesome. Judith, hi, I'm so glad you joined.
Yes, that was a good one.
Man cave is important, but man cave can be messy and man cave can be smoky, and it can be, it's a man cave. Basically, it's like a teenager's room. Let them do whatever they want. In that, teenager's room and man caves is exactly the same thing. So you can hang your shoes from a chandelier, beer bottles all over the place. We don't care. The most important room before we leave that all of you should know, it's your master bathroom.
Why?
Because the master bathroom is the first place you see once you open your eyes, and your whole day is set how you open your eyes and what do you see and how convenient and how beautiful it is and how giddy do you start your day. And it's the absolutely last place you see before you go to bed. That's how you finish your day. So all of you out there, go to your master bathrooms and see how they make you feel. And then decide that you want to do a reno. And let's renovate master bathrooms.
And then call Svietka at 05. Oh my God. You are incredible. If I could, I would talk to you all day. Oh, my mother says Mirpesit. She has her priorities straight. Yes.
Yeah. But before the Mirpesit is the balcony. I agree. Balconies are important, especially now that we're all in the clothes, being on the lockdown, and Mirpesit is important. Not as important as the bathroom though. Your bathroom, not the guest bathroom, not the kids' bathroom.
Judith says, by the way, it's not true. She didn't cheat. In Holland, the toilet is really decorated with plants, a birthday calendar, and is colorful, often also magazines. So she was really guessing, and she was really right. So good job,
She's
Judith.
very right. Good for you, Judith. There you go. I'm all for plants, magazines, a cup of coffee. I'm all for it.
I was in that
Yeah, a little home.
by the way. I was in that retreat also, and you didn't talk about toilets. You talked about colors and the psychology of color, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Everybody should talk to Svietka about colors and the psychology of colors because it really is so powerful. It was so much fun. It brought out such a conversation. It helps you get to know yourself. Like Zahava was asking before about color. Really, play with it and find the colors that make you happy and really enjoy them. Like bring them into your space. By the way, my house is full of color and it makes me really happy. So
we're not white and gray people. We're not. Mistakenly, people think that white and gray is calm and it goes with everything. It doesn't. You get bored of white and gray very fast.
Yes.
Because you get no stimulus. You get, it's not the colors that make you happy when you look at them.
Right. And, there was a friend of mine who was renting a place and it had a big red wall in the back. And for a couple of years, she's just like, it really is not her color. It really is not her color. Like if I lived there, maybe it wouldn't bother me, but it really bothered her. And the second she could, she went and painted it and made it this dark blue. And suddenly it's like, all the energies went down. It was so interesting how much it affects you. But it really, you should pick colors that fill you up and make you happy. And you look at them and you get excited every single time. And I just want to add before we finish that sometimes, a loud color is more expensive because it has a lot of pigment. It's totally worth it. I just want to say it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Because you save so much money by not doing other things and just painting that wall and making yourself happy with that anger of a color is so worth it. Okay, last words, Svietka. What do you want us to all remember?
I want you to remember that if at some point the renovation becomes a burden and that it becomes like one continuous fight, stop, take a step back, talk to somebody, hire a professional designer to sort out the problems, and get back on track, remembering that also the process, even though it's a very difficult process, it can still be a very fun process. Listen, we're women, we're going shopping, we're playing with colors, we're playing with textures. I mean, hello, renovation is like enormous fun. It's fun. You shop till you drop. Like, think about the amount of decisions you have to make on the shopping stuff that you're buying. It's like trying on dresses. Here you're trying on ceramic tiles. It's basically more or less the same thing. It's like, oh, look at this tile. What do you think? Does it go well with my face? So it's the same thing. Have fun. Enjoy it. It needs to be a fun process.
Great. And I want to add, a little bit of Bat-Chenism into here. Bring God into it. Bring Hashem into the conversation, into the experience, because when you're able to connect and say, help me choose, guide me, help me stay focused, stay grounded, you are already not alone. It automatically makes you a part of a bigger picture, a part of a partnership. And you're going to feel a little bit less doubt about making mistakes, about worrying too much. It just feels more flow when you bring God into the situation. And this isn't every situation, but especially with a situation that has a potential of blowing up, just pause and become present with the fact that you're not alone in anything, but you're not alone in this situation specifically. And it's really important. So that is my final words to pull it all together, because I really feel very strongly about this. My mother says we are not penguins, black and white. My mother said this was the best interview I've ever done. And by the way, I think she was 21. So
thank you, Mama Bat-Chen.
You know what? If you get the approval of my mother, you are good to go.
I'm set for life now. I want it in writing in 3 copies. You can fax it to my home phone number.
Oh my goodness.
Stamp with approval.
This is great. Okay, so let's just send some reminders. Don't forget that we have an interview every single week. If you have someone that you want me to interview, make sure to get in touch with me, because we talk about everything under the sun that has to do with marriage, because I am a marriage coach, and that is my obsession in this world, is to help you bring peace into your home, bring the Shekhinah into your life, because that is the best way to make things flow and make your life more at ease. So next week we're going to have another live. Make sure you come, make sure you subscribe, make sure you do all that great stuff. Thank you so much to Svietka, and thank you to all of you who came and participated with all the comments. You guys are great. It was so much fun.
You guys are great. I don't know who's there, who's not, but thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. It's definitely was lovely.
And if you're in the replay, make sure to do #replay, because we're going to be able to see those afterwards in the comments. So thank you very much, and come back next time.